been like the most difficult thing for you to get used to? You're maybe saying something about the fact that there's not enough nuance. I guess
it's the touch. Yeah, I mean it's kind of a similar thing to playing a synthesizer or a MIDI, some type of MIDI keyboard, as opposed to playing an acoustic piano. You know, even something that has touch, that has a velocity-sensitive keyboard, it's not going to register nearly as much information as a mechanical instrument, like a keyboard, like so, or like an acoustic accordion. I mean, you just don't have the nuance there. So that's the toughest thing to get used to. And first, I was using and with playing standard accordion, I didn't realize it until I got this, how much I was using the bellows to control the attacks of my notes and the relative volumes of it, of my playing. But after I got this, I found that I really, gradually, I started using it more and more, just without any type of bellows control in there, and just using it with the touch sensitivity.
So when you were in, I'm trying to think of that, the one thing that I have footage of you playing with it was the upright bass, the drums, and a saxophone.
The trio thing. The
yeah, and that was, I guess, maybe is that an example of the fact of one of the things where you need a little more volume, or?
That probably would have worked all right with an acoustic instrument too. Probably would have had some trouble with getting enough volume to be heard over the drum kit, though. So in that case, yeah, that was the main reason I brought the MIDI accordion out on that.
Very practical. Is this weigh any less than a regular accordion?
It kind of depends. Well, for the amount of different patches in here, yes, it does. Acoustic accordions can vary greatly in weight. It's not just by their size, but on the number of reeds they have, and which will determine the variety of sounds that you can get out of it. And for the variety of sounds in here, a comparable acoustic instrument would probably weigh at least a minimum like 40 pounds or so.
And how much does this
And
weigh?
this weighs about 18 pounds.
That's significant, especially when you're doing a long gig.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. But there's a lot of, I mean, the number of patches and the number of different configurations that you have in this thing, it would be impossible actually to find an acoustic accordion that would have that number of sounds in it. But
is there something that you prefer to use the acoustic for? I mean, I know you teach with it, but
yeah, usually I'll use the acoustic instrument if I'm playing solo gigs or small group things, just because the more control that it gives me. But when I'm playing with a drum kit, with a drummer with full kit, or I'm playing any type of louder or larger group thing, I like to use the electronic instrument. I like to use the MIDI accordion just for volume, and it also has some weird patches in it too. It's got some fun, like, well, if I want to use synthesizer, I need to use this. It's a lot easier just to bring up the synthesizer with a foot pedal rather than playing in the synthesizer with another hand, which looks more impressive, but it's not all that, in terms of playing, and all that good. But this also has some fun internal patches in it, like the mariachi trumpet, which is, see if I can get it to go here.
that's awesome.
And that also brings in one of the reasons I don't use this for lessons is that my students, they couldn't stop laughing when I would, when I bust out the trumpet patch. So,
yeah.
But it's a different animal, really. And if you look at it, if you think of it as a different animal, then you'll be happy. I mean, if you're an accordion player and you buy one of these things and you're thinking it's going to work like a regular accordion, you'll probably be disappointed. But if you think of it as, like I said, if you think of it as a synthesizer or as a MIDI controller that's configured like an accordion, I think you'd be pretty happy with it. Like I could, flip it into one of the. Is that what I wanted? Little trumpet going.
Yeah, so good.
And then you can mess with the left hand too. I can get a string bass going there in the bass. And also my chords. And you can do the one-man band thing and get gigs at cheesy restaurants.
Nice.
Which I don't mean to sound like I'm down on it. If anybody out there wants me to hire me to play at their cheesy restaurant, I'd be up for it.